Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. If you didn't know, now you know. We're taking a look at PFF's new mock draft. It's by Anthony Treash. And yeah, it's going to be a banger. I'll leave a link to the article and his Twitter as well if you want to check more from him. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love that nice, beautiful football discourse we got going on. And real quick, just some stuff going on with the channel this, upcoming. I'm not going to do my own mock draft this week. I'm going to do a 7-round next week. That very same day, bam, Patreon, it drops where you get my full big board, my full rankings. You're going to get team-specific mock videos, and there's going to be a lot of other things that you can get through that. So, hey, if you're interested in that, check it out. But comes out next week when the 7-rounder comes out. We're going to be streaming the national championship game. It's going to be a watch along. It's going to be a watch party. So hopefully you'll join me for that. But let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. This is the thumbnail. Best believe it. Jacksonville's still number one. They're still going Aiden Hutchinson. Let's talk about the elephant perhaps in the room here being he didn't look that good against Georgia. He looked good against everybody else. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I don't think so much that he looked bad. I mean, a lot of the runs were, hey, run away from Hutchinson, run opposite side of him. Everyone throws up the Sawyer block he had on where Hutchinson lost his foot in and got pushed back. It was a pretty nice block. Outside of that, like, I'm not going to lie, Sawyer, I didn't think had a great game. I thought, oh, that's an impressive rep. But if you look at it, most of the game, like, Ajabo kind of had that guy's number. Dude, he was just beating him with speed and ducking under. It was pretty nasty. I still think that dude's a guard at the next level. But it was still impressive out of it, nonetheless. But, yeah, okay, it's for me, Hutchinson, he's still going to test out probably extremely well. If you want to move KT up, then do that. I've always said these guys, it's a coin flip. So I really don't feel no particular way about it. If you'd rather Hutch, take Hutch. If you'd rather KT, take KT. Then, we could talk about Evan Neal in this. He had a very interesting game against Myjah Sanders. That was a fun back and forth. The few reps that they faced off one-on-one. But let's keep this going. Jags, they take best player on the board. To them, it's Hutch. I'm not going to fight it. I imagine KT will be the next pick. Detroit, they take KT. I'm Nostradamus. What can I say? Man, pretty solid. Like I said, these two are the unanimous number ones in this class. With Evan Neal, man, I'm telling you, Evan Neal is right there. And then we got the Houston Texans going Derek Stingley. So we go. It's a little different now. I personally would take Evan Neal, especially at the trading deadline. They were trying to trade away Laramie Tunsil. I don't know if that's something they're still gonna do. I know a lot of y'all have brought up, hey, Titus Howard. He's been playing left tackle. Well, guess what? He played. Hold up. I don't know what he played yesterday in the Niners game. I didn't watch the Niners game. There were better games on TV. But I know the week before that, they moved him back to left guard, which made no sense because he was playing well at left tackle. I don't know why you move a guy away. I don't know if they felt comfortable with, I don't know who came back. Was it Christian? I don't know. I can't find it just yet. So maybe they moved him back to left tackle. I don't know. But regardless, I think I would still take Evan Neal here. Blue chip prospect, he's right up there with those two. Derek Stingley, I get it. The guy has the size, the length. He's going to test out like a freak. We just kind of know with the ankle. Is this going to be a thing in the NFL? But the guy has the lockdown corner traits. I said traits that the NFL typically really values. So I personally like Neal, but I mean, Derek Stingley's number 4 or 5 for a lot of people. Then we see the Jets go Hamilton. They decide not to go with Evan Neal. I wonder how far Neal falls. So, yeah, Jets go Hamilton. Hamilton's a top 5 prospect for a lot of people. I know there's going to be that crowd that's like, oh man, but safeties, they don't go early. And it might be the third most, like, I'd say third to fourth most disruptive position on defense. Like, you want to have solid safeties. A lot of teams, they're running more 3 safety sets. It's not to say safety, yes, it's valued in the draft, but when you have a prospect like this, then yeah, you kind of don't want to pass on him. Like, we saw what happened with Derwin James, and you could be like, well, he's been hurt. Yeah, but when he's been on the field, he's been amazing. You really, unless there's like a history of injuries with these guys, you won't really know. So don't give me like, oh, Derwin James has been hurt. Okay, yes, I agree, but he should have gone a lot higher because you can't really factor in the injuries during his pro career. I can't remember if he had any in college. So I don't know, but I know Kyle Hamilton hasn't. So I'm not going to dispute this. It's a good pick. And then this was interesting. The Giants go George Karlaftis with Evan Neal on the board. Yeah, I'm taking that in a heartbeat. Because then what? I'm assuming the Panthers are like 6 or 7. They're going to take Evan Neal. They have to. Like, it makes sense unless they go quarterback and somehow he falls back to the Giants. So, I don't know, but I don't know what the Giants' next pick is, though. But George Karlaftis, I get it. He's a little bit different from Azeez Ojulari. Opposite side, he could do a few different things. He could even line them up in line. So, yeah, it's a good pick. I'm not taking it here, though, if I'm the Giants. We've seen that Giants' offensive line. It's among the worst offensive lines in football currently. What? Dolphins, Giants, Falcons. Ugh, it's ugly. Carolina Panthers, they're 6. They're taking Evan Neal. See, I don't know. If you're picking for a team, this is my opinion, you try to big brain this stuff. Maybe he's not high on Evan Neal. I don't know why not, but I would have jumped on that. Knowing, the Panthers are up. Let's go ahead. Let's take this guy. Maybe then Karlaftis falls to us with our next pick. But Panthers, they really could use some help. Panthers, actually, they're right up there with a pretty bad offensive line. But at least they got Taylor Moton, right? And then the New York Football Jets. Nakobe Dean, he's coming hot after a great game in the playoffs. Man, dude was great. Dude was everywhere. Just a difference maker at the linebacker position. I'm still kind of struggling. I don't know if he's a top 10 guy just because of size. Because you look at Micah Parsons, probably should have been top 10 guy. He was a blue chip prospect for a lot of people. And yeah, Dean doesn't have that size. They're a little bit different. I would say Dean's a bit better in coverage. Actually, probably a lot better in coverage. But I mean, the Jets, this is actually a very big position, need. Their linebacking core is Dudu Abata. But they got a couple of young guys there, and Hamsah Nazar-Ildeen, and who's the cat from Auburn? I liked him last year, but as a safety. He moved to, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he moved to linebacker as well. But yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I don't mind it. So what, they roll out with, wow, dude, safety and linebacker. Ooh. Positional value. Who cares? And then the Giants, they go Tyler Linderbaum. I mean, that's fine. He comes with your next pick. If I'd rather a tackle, it's just a bit more value. But Linderbaum's great. You can move probably then Gates to one of the guard positions. Could even move him to right tackle if you want to. But they need to improve on their line. Whether I don't think they really have the cap space to do it. But I mean, what we learned this from the Saints last year. Cap space ain't nothing but a number. And then the Washington football team go with Sam Howell, first quarterback off the board. Interesting. I like this. You would think Icky might go here with the Giants. Interesting, too. But Washington, Sam Howell could very well end up being the top quarterback in this class. I like Malik Willis' upside. I feel like Kenny Pickett is the middle, right in between those two. He's I don't know, man. This quarterback class is gonna be super interesting. Like the three quarterbacks I'm fighting with, like who's gonna be my top guy? Like it's Pickett, it's Howell, it's Willis. A lot of people like Corral. I got some concerns but yeah, I just don't. I still can. I'd rather him in the late first round if I'm gonna take him. But like up here, I just don't feel good about it. But yeah, no, they need to get a franchise quarterback. So why not? Atlanta Falcons, they get Icky Ekwonu. So this is why Treash ends up taking Ekwonu. Does he view him as just an interior guy? I didn't read anything that said that. All right, no, it doesn't say anything about trying him out as a tackle, which I would. Maybe you start him at right tackle or move Matthews over there, or you start him on the interior because Jalen Mayfield's been bad, and maybe you move Mayfield to right tackle to compete with McGarry. I don't know. There's a lot of different scenarios. I understand it. I don't think it's the biggest hidden move for the Falcons. I'd rather go after an edge, go after a receiver, two of the highest value positions on a football team. So, yeah. Denver Broncos get their quarterback of the future, Matt Corral. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse when I talk about my concerns with Corral. Obviously, the injuries keeps him out 3 to 6 weeks, I think. So it's not that big of a deal. But there's the size. Again, that's just a minuscule thing. But we have seen smaller quarterbacks take a beating. But again, minuscule thing. You can protect your body well. I like his escapability. I just don't think he's nearly as accurate as a downfield passer compared to a Sam Howell. He doesn't go through his reads or go through progressions like a Kenny Pickett. Doesn't have that mobile upside and quite frankly, the arm strength compared to, because Malik Willis has ridiculous arm strength, but doesn't have that mobility, For me, he kind of falls short to those other three guys. But Broncos go quarterback. That makes a ton of sense. As we see the Vikings, they go with Garner. Garner had a pretty good game against Alabama. He didn't match up a lot on Jameson Williams, or at least as much as I would have liked, just because it would have been fun to see that a lot. But the dude's still good. I think he allowed 0 yards to Alabama. Let's be fair, it was that run defense that was really letting Cincinnati down, on top of the offense just being But yeah, the Vikings, their cornerback position is not good. Not good. Doesn't have a lot of depth either. They're probably staring down. Right now, they only have Cameron Dantzler and I think Chris Boyd, I'm not positive, on a contract after this year. So, yeah, no, that needs to be addressed. So, yeah, they go with Sauce, man. I like Sauce a lot. Garrett Wilson going to the Browns. We've talked a lot about this. The Browns, they've already given the Baker the 5th-year option. Let's give him no excuses. He's been banged up this year, benefit of the doubt. So maybe he looks a lot better. Well, let's give him the receivers to really say, hey, you have all the weapons. You're surrounded by immense talent. It's just not working. And then the Philadelphia Eagles go with Trent McDuffie. I actually think Trent McDuffie is a real good scheme fit for Gannon. And, yeah, the dude's good. Where he's going to get caught up at, where teams are either are probably going to fall out of love with him, is probably the lack of length and the lack of just elite speed. He's a guy that has good explosiveness, good short area quickness, but is he a guy that can go long with somebody? But dude's wonderful. He's got great instincts. He was shut down the day he stepped on campus. So Eagles get corner, one of their bigger needs. And then Jameson Williams goes to the Saints. I feel like we talk about this all the time. So do we really need to go into it? They get a burner. Good for them. Baltimore Ravens go Jaquan Brisker. A lot of people like Brisker as their safety too. I'm still partial to my boy Jordan Battle, dude. I'm a big Battle guy. But Brisker's pretty darn good. We know that the Baltimore Ravens, they like to deploy like 3 safety sets. They like to have guys on the field that can cover, especially if they go cover 1, cover 0, bringing in blitzes and whatnot. Brisker's a guy that he's very good at reacting and keeping things underneath, making plays on the ball. Not the highest end. He's not going to be the highest. He's not going to be the most athletic athlete in the safety class. There we go. That's the best way to put it. But he's definitely probably the best tackler. And honestly, he proved that dude can be a playmaker. He's also very, as he says it, smart player. He's a smart player. Doesn't let himself get beat, But yeah, you get it like a John Jones or a John Johnson, a Adrian Amos type of player here. So something I can see the Ravens getting. Honestly, I think the Ravens could go anywhere with this first pick. Just grab talent. Pittsburgh Steelers go Desmond Ridder. Listen, I think that Alabama game wasn't necessarily Desmond Ridder's fault. He had a couple of passes that I was like, Mamma mia, that dude can put it on the money. And then there were a few inaccurate passes here and there. But for the most part, they really played RPO heavy. I think he had 4 or 5 passes batted at the line. I wasn't a big fan of the play calling in that Alabama game. But I think he displayed why people really like him. Where some of the I think it was a wheel route to the end zone where he just put it right there on the pylon. His receiver just couldn't come up with it. It was a beautiful pass. He had another one that was kind of a back shoulder to his receiver that dropped it. Would have been a first down. Like, there were a couple of throws that were pretty impressive, but I still concerned about the accuracy issues, like the ball placement. It's not always like that with him. It's inconsistent. So for me, I think he moved up my board. I'm not going to lie. I was actually pretty impressed with the performance. But not so impressed that I'm willing to say he's a day 2 to day 1. It wasn't that impressive. Like, I don't know if he even cracks my top 50 prospects, if I'm being honest. So Las Vegas Raiders, they go Chris Olave. Again, get your Henry Ruggs replacement. That offense really lacks kind of the firepower. But, I mean, you could really address a lot of spots, whether it's along the offensive line. You could address a linebacker. You could address corner. There's a lot of areas you could address for the Raiders, man. So I'm not going to fault it. Chris Olave's pretty darn good. One of the best separators in this class. Eagles with their second pick. Go Devin Lloyd. This is one I like a lot just because Devin Lloyd is a bit different. He's made plays in coverage this year, but I don't think he's not going to be a guy that's going to be consistently good in pass coverage. He's probably going to allow like a 70 to 80% reception or completion rate. He's that guy he's a sure tackler. He's going to make sure these guys don't get yards after the catch. But what he brings as a blitzer, as sometimes a pure pass rusher, it's beautiful, man. I like this guy's short area quickness. He's pretty explosive, good length. I like Lloyd. He's a good fit for Philly too as well. And then the Los Angeles Chargers take Doran Davis. For me, not a sexy pick. I know Davis had a really good game against Alabama, but still, this guy's a 2-down player for me. He's going to be an elite run stuffer. Will he be a guy that consistently contests the passer? There's a few things he needs to clean up. He really just relies on the explosiveness for a guy his size, just overwhelming offensive linemen. So, I don't know. That's kind of yet to be seen. I could see the allure of why a team would like someone like Doran Davis, but it's just he's not my cup of tea, I suppose. Drake London going to the Philadelphia Eagles. I low-key like this, man. This is a guy that Hurts could put the ball in his hands, and the dude can create, pop off a 10, a 15. a 20-yarder just after the catch, man. And he's a great contested catch guy. He was 19 of 28 on contested catches this past season. Just toss it up to him. Jalen Hurts, just put it in the vicinity. This guy's got a catch radius for miles. So I actually like that. I like the idea of them going wide receiver. Oh, man. Imagine the Eagles. Oh, we thought they were going to get 3 top 10 picks at one point. Oh, how the turntables have turned. All right. The Miami Dolphins go Charles Cross. I kind of have an exception when it comes to offensive line. I personally don't like the Dolphins drafting offensive linemen, but if guys like Tyler Linderbaum, Icky, Evan Neal, Charles Cross are available, I consider them blue chip. I think I might throw Kenyon Green into that category as well, who's still on the board. I'm willing to take a shot there. I don't like the idea of the offensive line getting younger and more inexperienced, but if you could bring in high-end talents that are kind of like almost ready to play now, like I feel like Cross might be the exception there. But he's one of the most one of the most tested in pass protection in this whole class, just by virtue of playing in Mike Leach's scheme. And he did it in the SEC, and he looked pretty darn good while doing it. Roger McCreary going to the New England Patriots. J.C. Jackson, he's a free agent. They're likely to bring him back, though. But even still, corner, it's such a valuable position. You want to be sure you have an embarrassment of riches in terms of the depth at corner. So, yeah, I like them going McCreary. He's a pretty good talent. And then corner, man, it's rolling off the board. Cardinals take Andrew Booth. Again, this is another one I like. I feel like that corner position could use some more infusion and talent, because Marco Wilson, I'm not encouraged by what I've seen thus far from him, but I don't think it's bad. I think I was like, oh, this guy is going to be a quality depth piece, and maybe even plug in at points a solid replacement starter, or throw him in sub packages. Keep in mind that Marco Wilson's a guy that's actually back at Florida, moved to the slot because he was having a hard time on the outside, and played the slot pretty decently at some points. But he does have that slot experience. You get Booth, who is just going to test out phenomenally athletically, and the dude was hot to end the end of the year, had a real nose for finding the football. And then this next pick, Buffalo Bills. Kenyon Green. He lists him as an interior player. I would love to give him a shot at tackle. I think in an outside zone blocking scheme, ideally, this guy can be great. Regardless, he's played both guard spots, so that's probably their weakest spot on the offensive line. So, yeah, not bad. Cincinnati Bengals. They go Bernard Raymond out of Central Michigan. I feel like he's a bit more of he's a developmental guy. He's only been playing the position for 2 seasons. At Senior Bowl, you can show a lot, but you can tell, there's still a bit raw to his game, but the athletic upside's great. He's actually going to Zach Taylor, and his outside zone blocking scheme is ideal. So get protection for Tua. They were able to overcome the Chiefs, but when the Chiefs were even getting pressure on this squad, man. Like, they need to do something with the offensive line, whether that's free agency, whether that's sometime during the draft. So I don't mind this. I don't think he's plug and play ready, so maybe bring Riley Reif back. But, yeah. Dallas Cowboys go Kaiir Elam. I like this one a ton. I think you got, immediately I think Kaiir Elam inserts himself into that cornerback 2 discussion on this roster. I don't think Anthony Brown. I don't think Anthony Brown's gonna hold back Kaiir Elam from starting on day one. I don't think Kelvin Joseph. He hasn't looked particularly great this year, and he's only seen a handful of snaps. So it's not even an honest sample size. So I can't even really say he hasn't looked great. I haven't been that impressed on the very few snaps he's been given. That's probably the best way to put it. So, yeah, corner. It's kind of a big thing. So, yeah, they go corner. I actually like that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers go Treylon Burks. Holy moly. Well, Chris Godwin's a free agent after this season. I could say the same thing about AB, but then he decided he wanted to be a free agent in that Jets game in typical AB fashion. So Treylon Burks, who's God, oh my gosh, the speed for this dude's size, it's just he doesn't do a lot in terms of like his route tree. It's not like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's not that type of route tree, but it's a solid one. It's one that he is just a mismatch sniper at. Like slants, this guy is going to create so much space. He's going to create a big window for his quarterback downfield. He's proved to be good at the contested catch, and that's type of size, like a corner, just trying to go up with a guy like that, it's going to be difficult. And then after that catch, this guy's been good. So he's been good on screens. So, like, yeah, and pairing him up with Mike Evans, you got Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller there still. So, yeah, I don't mind. It is good talent. I think Burks could go a lot higher than that just because, again, depending on how this guy tests out, man, it could be freaky. Arnold Ebiketie going to the Chiefs. I thought maybe Trayvon Walker, this would be it. Or a Kingsley and Agbar just because those two guys are more Spagnuolo type of guys. But Ebiketie, dude's been phenomenal. He's a former transfer from Temple. He showed out in the little bit of playing time he got there, and then came to Penn State, upped his game, upped his play, upped his competition, and it didn't matter. The dude was phenomenal. So, yeah, getting pass rush I think is important for the Chiefs. Frank Clark's inconsistent at best. And Melvin Ingram will be a free agent after the year, but also keep in mind he is a much older player. Malik Willis going to the Detroit Lions. I kind of like this because this is an extremely high upside guy that doesn't need to start right away. You could stick with Goff for another year or year and a half while you develop Willis, but Willis can really make your offense tough to stop. Tough to stop, especially with the offensive line already so good. Like this guy just really needs to, work on his decision making. See the field a bit better. And then 31 will be the Tennessee Titans. That's wild. That's wild that they're first seed right now. They go Jahan Dotson. I like this pick personally because it's a little bit different of what they have a receiver there with A.J. Brown and Julio when he's healthy. You get a real vertical separator, a guy with legit ball skills that is very competitive at the catch point. Just stupid explosive. So if they do go wide receiver, I think that's the type of receiver they need to target. And then with the last pick, DeMarvin Leal, man, going with the last pick here. This is just a steal at this point in the draft. You can make a case, receiver, all the receivers are kind of already gone, though. I believe so. They're already gone. So I don't want to really reach for a receiver at this point. You could try to add some more depth on that offensive line. I think maybe investing in the edge class would be wise with probably Preston Smith gone, with Zadarius Smith gone. So you can do that potentially. Maybe linebacker. Maybe if this Campbell thing was like a one-year wonder type of thing. But Leal, man, throwing him next to Kenny Clark just freaking sounds scary. He is a guy that does need to develop when it comes to maybe playing inside of the 5 or 4 tech, but he has the size, he has the movement skills to be very tough to stop. So overall, man, interesting draft. Not alike. No Kingsley and Agbar. What a crime. He's probably the biggest my guy this year right now. But overall, like, I don't think there was anything too offensive outside the beginning of the draft. Desmond Ridder, I just don't see eye to eye on, but that's fair. If you like him, you like him. Brisker, this felt actually a bit early for Brisker. Again, Matt Corral, I'm not going to fault someone for having a different opinion prospect than I do. If they're higher on him, then they're higher on him. But the Giants, man, yeah, I think this is what really got me. Like, I get Derek Stingley. I think this could very well happen. Even the Kyle Hamilton, but the Giants, like, knowing that the Panthers are right behind you, how do you not go Evan Neal? That makes no sense to me. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video, and as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.